We bring you the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. Malacanang confirms that President Ferdinand R. Marcos will join fellow heads of state for the annual Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation or APEC meeting in Bangkok, Thailand on November 16 to 19. Office of the Press Secretary, Officer in Charge, and Undersecretary Cheloy Garafil said the President is expected to discuss the Philippines' plans and priorities in trade, investment, and post-pandemic economic recovery. The country plans to push for economic agenda such as empowerment of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, recognition of seafarers in ensuring stable and resilient supply chains, ensuring food and energy security, as well as climate change. Garafil said the president will likewise participate in the APEC CEO Summit and meet with top business leaders in the region. The president is also scheduled to meet with the Filipino community in Thailand. This will be the first in-person meeting of the 21-member APEC since the pandemic hit in 2020. Meanwhile, President Marcos will also have at least 6 bilateral meetings at the sidelines of the APEC Summit in Thailand. Among those Marcos are anticipated to meet are United States Vice President Kamala Harris and Russian President Vladimir Putin. The White House said Harris will be visiting the Philippines to reaffirm and strengthen the alliance between the United States and the Philippines. The Marcos administration is providing 206 billion pesos worth of cash aid under the 2023 proposed national budget to cushion the impact of surging commodity prices on vulnerable sectors. Malacanang said about 165 billion pesos will be allocated to assistance programs under the Department of Social Welfare and Development. The Department of Health will get 22 billion pesos for medical assistance to indigent and financially incapacitated patients. 14.9 billion pesos will go to the Department of Labor and Employment's Tulong Panghanap Buhay sa Ating Disadvantaged Displaced Workers program, while 2.5 billion will be for the Department of Transportation's fuel subsidies. The Department of Agriculture will receive 1 billion pesos for fuel assistance for corn farmers and fisher folk. Other programs that will be funded under the 2023 budget include the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program, social pensions for indigent senior citizens, sustainable livelihood programs, universal access to quality tertiary education, and PhilHealth's national health insurance. The Department of Energy, or DOE, is working on restoring power to some 13 electric cooperatives across the country that are still experiencing brownouts following the impact of severe tropical storm Paeng. DOE Assistant Secretary Mario Marasigan said some 5,000 households continue to face power interruptions. However, repairs and restoration efforts are facing difficulties due to continued flooding. Paeng affected 96 electric cooperatives across 13 regions and 56 provinces. The areas that continue to experience power interruptions include those affected by the magnitude 6.4 earthquake in Abra and Typhoon Odette. Meralco, meanwhile, said over 4 million of its customers experienced power interruptions due to Paeng, the highest number it recorded so far this year. A Catholic bishop has called for an end to environmental abuse to mitigate the impact of calamities. Bishop Crispin Varquez of Borongan cited experts saying that many of the calamities that the world is facing are related to climate change. He said that to save the world, people must heed the call of Pope Francis for ecological conversion by avoiding environmental abuse and caring for others. Bishop Varquez made the statement ahead of the 9th anniversary of the deadly typhoon Yolanda. More than 6,000 people were killed as one of the world's deadliest natural disasters laid waste on several provinces, particularly Leyte and Samar on November 8, 2013. The bishop urged everyone to learn from the lessons of the past, maintain hope and solidarity in the face of challenges, and be thankful to the Lord that Filipinos have risen from the destruction of Yolanda. And that is the latest and the biggest stories from the Pna Newsroom. For more news content, visit our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. We are also shown on the social media pages of the Office of the Press Secretary and on Radio Pilipinas RP1. Stay tuned for more news updates. I am William Theo. We tell stories that inspire change.